project. Okay.
He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town
Guys, my name is Hin Hannah Delacruz, and this is my YPAR school project, all of the above. And to start off this podcast, I'm going to be talking about being queer with my best friend,
Valiente Garcia.
Val. When did you first find out that you were queer?
I would say I was in elementary school, maybe like late 5th grade or early 5th grade maybe. And yeah.
I was actually there when you were discovering yourself, and we met in 6th grade. We met in our science teacher, Miss Frichner, science class. And me and my friend, who was also gay, his name was Charles, we kind of clocked it right away that he was gay, but he denied it and said he was straight. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I think that actually kind of messed me up a lot, because them just kind of like saying these things at me, and honestly I didn't know what was going on. Obviously I didn't want to be gay, so and all the acts that they're telling me, like you sound gay or you act like da-da-da, and they just kept like throwing these things at me and literally throwing pens at me. I was like, I'm like, I thought I'm normal. Like, why do I sound so like, am I that? Do I sound so gay or do I act so gay?
So normally people are bullied for being gay, which is basically what we did to you as gay people, by straight people. So when it comes to our situation, or your situation, how do you feel that you were being bullied by gay people?
Well, I didn't. I obviously felt like right, kind of like, I guess like, I think I knew I was gay, but then I kind of didn't want to like accept it. So like when they said all those things, I was like hurt, but then also like okay with it. So I think it's totally is different between gay and straight from bullying, because at least I can like clock, you know.
And you also talked about earlier how you considered being gay as abnormal. What in your life has influenced you to believe that as a 6th grader?
A lot of what my family has said to me when I was growing up, kind of just like saying slurs and just being super like homophobic. And so I just thought like, if they say all that stuff about like those people, they're gonna say stuff like that to me.
Has anyone called you a slur?
Not a slur, but a lot growing up. I just thought a slur, but it like really affected me, because I was like, I'm not. But then they would call me like a girl, obviously because of the way I sounded and the way I acted. So, and I just remember my family, mostly my sister, kind of saying like, oh, he's such a girl, like he sounds like a girl, he acts like a girl. And so, you know,
I totally get that.
it's not a slur, but like it kind of like, you know, yeah.
Knowing how you joke around now, do you believe that you use jokes as a coping mechanism to combat that aspect of your life?
I don't think so. I think I just joke to joke. I don't. Cause I feel like we all do it, and y'all are kind of the only people I do it towards. And I'm like, okay with being gay now. So
Have you came out to your family yet?
actually, I haven't told you, but well, I kind of lied a little bit, but I hate having car rides with my dad. It was just me and him because we always talk about life or something. But he clocked me a little bit. But I said I like both. I lied.
What?
I lied.
Are you serious?
I
What did
lied.
he say?
He was very supportive. What were you like afraid to tell me that? I was like, and then kind of what we said before about like what they said in the past a little bit. But I said I was bi. That's like baby steps.
You're bi.
You're bi.
How do you think being gay affected you growing up?
I think I didn't connect, especially with my dad a lot, because of my feminine side and what I liked. Because obviously he liked like sports and like wrestling, and he obviously as like his only son, because he has two other sons, but like one's gone, and he does have a son, but you know, biological. Even though, yeah, I there's always like a disconnect between me and my dad, because even though my sister might be gay, but she's watching football and wrestling with my dad. Oh, going back to slurs, kinda not by my family, but very, very, very recently, I have been discriminated?
Yes.
I've been discriminated, and I seen it happen to like my friend Isaac. Some people called him James Charles, and like kind of made fun of him for being so like, you know, super like that. But apparently, I was next on the chopping block, and these two kids were coming for me because I was doing gay voice and gay moves, and they called me a faggot.
It's not funny. It really isn't funny. But you know, when something so bizarre happens that shouldn't be happening to someone else, it is just so absurd that you have to laugh. And I think that's where my other question of do you use humor to cope with your struggles stems from, because we're not laughing at the fact that he's being called a faggot at school, or that people are discriminating against him just because he's gay, but because of the fact that we know we can't really do anything about it, because people are going to be hated no matter what. So if we can just laugh about it, then it's whatever, like, we'll get over it.
And I was kind of, I'm pretty sure I've been bullied before, but not, probably without me knowing, like, being gay, but when I heard that shit for the first time, I was like,
Gay?
no, when they called me a fag, I was like,
I mean, are you surprised?
I didn't think they were talking to me. Well, obviously, me being the only gay person, I'm like, oh, they're calling each other faggots. But when I'm doing, like, I'm, like, talking to my friend, like picking up something very, like, femininely, and I see in my peripheral vision that they're copying my exact moves and literally saying, she's such a faggot, and I was like, they're talking about me. And when it happens basically every single day, I'm lucky enough to have amazing friends. I don't know about that one, but later on when the other person comes, Isaac, he's like, he will fight if someone ever like does anything. And plus, I was surprised, Aurelie too. Did I tell you?
No.
Cause when I told her like they were bullying me, she's like, I'm right next to you, I never heard it. She finally heard it, and they were talking about her. They were like, these kids are always on their phone, and me and Aurelie were on their phone. And then Aurelie was like, these fatties! You know how she talks? These fucking fatties!
These fucking fatties!
And literally so loud to make sure that they hear. And literally the whole time she was kind of like, Val, I'm so sorry. Like, actually, I'm so sorry that these fatties are just doing this. And like, she was kind of like defending me down. I was like, Thank you, sister. And
Why do you think that these people say what they say and do what they do? Do you think they actually hate gay people, or they're just following a standard?
I just think like they think gay people are just funny. Not funny as in like
a circus animal.
yeah, like, and obviously the way they grew up too, but it kind of all just depends like on who the people you hang out with. The people you hang out with, because if I hanged out with them too, I'm pretty sure I would be calling you a gay fag.
It all stems from insecurity within oneself, that they are unable to express themselves in the true and proper way gay people are, because gay people are just honest with themselves.
Or they just like beating bitches down and just like, bitch, you're beneath us because you're gay.
Do you think that slurs should be something that people should not say? What are your thoughts on when a straight person that claims that they're an ally says they're gay? You're like,
I think it could be funny, but if it's used as like, actually, if you ain't in the category to say what you can't say, don't do it unless
you're funny.
You're funny and the people around you
Are
are okay with it. Actually, I was going to talk to you about this, not about like each other, but about it's crazy that you became friends with Isaac in 6th grade, and him being, oh wait, no, you became friends with Gil, and then in 8th grade you became friends with Isaac. And
I was
crazy.
friends with Isaac in 7th grade.
Oh, but that's crazy.
Gay people are always drawn to other gay people.
That
It's
is
called facto segregation, a natural occurrence when gay people just gather together. And that's why
A
we're
gay
all
person
friends.
can clock a gay person.
Thank you so much, Val, for being featured on my first episode of my school project podcast. All of the above. Thank you so much, Val.
I love being gay too.
Big iron on his head.
The dolls be dolls. Let them live without.
Can you explain what that means?
Oh, the bricks too.
What?
The bricks. The dolls and the bricks.